Hello, this is Reddithan, and welcome back to another video of the same thing it's been for like the past month. Yeah, sorry, but this is week 3 of the GPC. But yeah, like, I haven't had like really time at all to make other videos, so yeah, just more of this. So at least it's somewhat entertaining, at least in my opinion. So it's. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I'll do other stuff eventually and stuff, but whatever. Let's just go right into my team before before I prolong this intro any further than it needs to go. So yeah, I'm going up against the Bristol Bidoofs in this week 3 matchup. So you can see my opponent's team there on the side. So anyway, I have to credit Rufus with helping me with this team because after my week 2 loss, I was just like, okay, my teams are terrible. Dude, be my advisor, and he was just like, sure, and I was just like, okay. So yeah, now that happened. So yeah, I'll link his channel in the description. So yeah, thanks to him for some of my team. Like we kind of collaborated and everything. So. Yeah, so this one was his idea. Scarfed Squitter with Thunderbolt, Switch, Bug Buzz, and Thunderwave. The main point of this thing was just to make sure Charizard Y doesn't wreck me. Excuse me. One thing that I originally had a Sticky Web on here. However, considering Charizard's a flying type before it Mega Evolves, we figured, you know, Sticky Web might not be the best idea. He also has Mandibuzz and Hitmontop, both excellent hazard removers. So, in the end, we decided just to go with the Scarf Thunderwave, just because if it sets up a Dragon Dance, it's still outspeed, and I can cripple it. So, and just lets me pretty much take it out with a lot of my other Pokemon. So, yeah, that was the idea behind this. The rest of the moves, are just because it hits his team pretty hard as well. Thunder, of course, destroys Manaphy. Manaphy, Mandibuzz, really anything that doesn't resist it will take a butt ton from Thunder. And then Bug Buzz, we originally had, oh god, I forget what it was. I think it was HB Ice for Roserade, but Bug Buzz is a 2-hit KO anyway, so I was just like, hey, let's just run Bug Buzz instead. So we decided to go with Bug Buzz just because it hits Mammoth Swine as well. So, you know, just get that nice neutral coverage in there. And then we got Volt Switch just because momentum's nice. So yeah. I ran just enough speed to outspeed +1 Mega Charizard X. So those are my EVs over there. Unfortunately, you can't run Modest to outspeed it. I think it's like 1 base stat total too low for speed. So yeah, it's fortunate there. So next up we had King Chip with Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Thunderbolt, and Fire Blast. This, I mean, Nidoking, just really wrecked his team. If I could get past, like, being slower than some of it, like, he had, like, no switch-ins to Nidoking, and, like, literally 0 switch-ins. And it played very well with Galvantula, because, like, if you could Thunder Wave, Mega Charizard X, and then Nidoking could just come in and then, like, rip something. So, yeah. So yeah, Earth Power was for the Charizard X, and Registeel, Sludge Wave for Gardevoir, and like anything else that's Earth Power doesn't hit, or whatever, or anything else like Earth Power doesn't hit super effectively, or not very effective, or whatever. Sludge Wave is there, and then we got Thunderbolt for Manaphy because Manaphy's annoying, and also Mandibuzz because Mandibuzz is also annoying, and then Fire Blast. I debated putting Sucker Punch on here. I probably should have in retrospect, but Fire Blast is mainly just for Roserade because it OHKOs it. So yeah, pretty straightforward there with Nidoking. Next up is Jaboon, and this was like my only Megazard X switch-in with Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Heal Ball, and Thunder Wave. These EVs are very, very wacky. I know. Really, my goal here was to... Well, okay, well, I should probably explain the special attack first. So, with this amount of special attack, Hydro Pump OHKOs Mammoth Swine. So, since Mammoth Swine is really, like, kind of an issue for this team, with only like one switch in Skarmory, which isn't even that good of a switch in because Icicle Crash flinches and all that. So yeah, I decided, you know, just have that there just in case, and then the rest is just to take physical hits as best as it can, because of course Mega Charizard X, with that thing you're gonna need something that can take hits. So really, yeah, with this it can take anything from +1, except for Outrage. However, if it goes for Outrage, then Vape God can just come in and wreck its life. So I didn't really have to worry about that or anything. So we got Thunder Wave, so with another chance to cripple Zard X. Zard X really hurt my team up a lot, as well as Manaphy. So Manaphy as well, I could cripple that. That was mainly what kind of the strategy with this team. So yeah, and then we got Volt Switch again for momentum and extra stab, and then Heal Bell just in case. I didn't really have anything better to put in this spot, so it's just like, let's do Heal Bell just in case I get haxed. So yeah, there was that. Shuka Berry, of course, we're going to take Earthquakes from Mamoswine and Megazard X. And then I also put Water Absorb, because the only thing on his team that would actually use an electric move is Zebstrika, and I guess Registeel if it had Thunder Wave, but mainly just Zebstrika. And I figured, you know, Zebstrika's not really a threat because I have a Ground type and a Resist. So I was like, probably don't need it. So I decided to just go with Water Absorb, just because one thing about Manaphy is I can go for like Surf, maybe knock me down to a low range and then KO with Energy Ball or something. So I didn't really want to deal with that. And he also got like Scald Burn and stuff. So I was like, probably should just go with Water Absorb. It's gonna be more useful probably in the long run. So yeah, especially without recovery and leftovers or anything. So yeah. Next up we have Vape God, another Dragon Dance set. I've been really wanting to do something more creative with Vape God, but haven't really gotten the chance to. So Dragon Dance, Roost, Earthquake, Return, you know, what you would expect. Just enough to outspeed to I forget what it's meant to outspeed. I think actually, I think nothing. I have no idea. I have no idea what I was trying to outspeed here, but it was something. I think it was like something about Zardex, but yeah. Okay, that's what it was. It was so I could outspeed Zardex at +1. So yeah, Return Earthquake just wrecked his team absolutely. Return hit everything for at least neutral damage on his team, except for Registeel and Roserade. And of course, Registeel is weak to ground, and then Roserade is so frail that it doesn't appreciate an Earthquake either. So these two moves just wreck his team. And then of course you got Dragon Dance you can set up, and then you know your Roost. Yeah, so I figured there was no reason not to have it on this team. Like for instance with actually, okay. Let me go through Mittens and Excalibur first, and then I'll explain Vape God. So, Mittens, you got Psyshock, Roar, Stealth Rock, and Roost. This was Rufus's idea because Roserade really destroys me. So, I needed like a special defensive Mom that could switch into its hits and all that, and then Psyshock. Psyshock, I believe, OHKOs it. So I really kind of needed this little pivot here. Stealth Rock, because Stealth Rock is awesome and it hits Charizard. And then we got Roost for recovery, and then finally we got Roar. Roar was just so Manaphy couldn't set up, because of course this thing can take any hit from Manaphy as long as it's not at +3. So this ensures that doesn't happen. And if it does, I would have like kind of a safety net here, so I could just roar it out. And Roar also plays very well with Excalibur with Spikes. We got Spikes, Roost, Fog, Iron Head. It's just physically defensive wall, of course. Switch into stuff like Mamoswine, and really just Mamoswine, to be honest. It's also got Iron Head because that hits his team pretty hard, and also Gardevoir. And Gardevoir can be a real pain too. So you know, just covering all my bases here. Spikes, because Mittens already had Stealth Rock, and with the Roar combo, we figured it would just be able to stack those hazards, could just destroy his team. So yeah, that was reasoning for that. And the hazard stacking, yeah, going back to Altaria, it's just because his 2 hazard removers are Hitmontop and Mandibuzz. So in the case that they stay in to try to like Rapid Spin or Defog, it's a free switch essentially to Mega Altaria, who can just Dragon Dance and then pretty much sweep him. So yeah, while he did have a reliable way to remove these hazards, he really had like no chance to really stop Altaria if he decided to do that. So yeah, hazards just destroyed his team in the matchup against me. So yeah, that'll do it for the team. Sorry if I'm a little less articulate than usual. This was like really busy week yet again. Yeah, like classes starting up and all that, and it's, you know how it is. If maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. I already forget what high school feels like if you're in high school or whatever. But yeah, college is tough. I am learning that. But anyway, let's just get right into the battle. And look at how well I've zoomed in here. Yes. I've realized that zooming that being zoomed out looks terrible. I didn't really do anything about it before just because I didn't really like want to, but doing something about it now. So yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so first turn he leads with Registeel and I go with Mew. I guess I really wanted to leave with Mew just in case he led with like Roserade or Charizard or something, because I don't know. I was just like, no, it was Manaphy or Roserade, just because like I didn't really want to have to deal with that turn 1 because they could just destroy things and lives, and I was like, you know what, Mittens is the best matchup against those two, which are like the 2 biggest threats. I feel so, you know, let's just lead with Mittens just in case. But he does lead with Registeel, and I'm just gonna set up my rocks. He sets up his rocks, and here I actually go into Lantern because I was expecting the T-Wave because they usually do that, but he goes for Earthquake. So thankfully I have the Shuka Berry, so it didn't do that much. Although I do lose my Shuka Berry, unfortunately. But since he doesn't bring Mamoswine though, it's not as big of a deal. So I can just safely go for Volt Switch here as he goes into Hitmontop. He really wants to get rid of those rocks, I know, because he just wants Charizard to be as safe as possible. However, I'm not having any of that. I don't really know what he was trying to do there, what he was predicting, but it didn't work. So this is what I was talking about with Altaria, is that Hitmontop and Mandibuzz, and I guess in this case Hitmontop, just have a bad time against it. So I'm actually going to predict the switch in the Registeel, and I'm going to go for the Earthquake as I Mega Evolve. Unfortunately, I can't 2-hit KO it, so I have to switch out here. Again, I'm afraid of like the T-Wave, which he does go for this time. So since he has Stealth Rock, T-Wave, and Earthquake, I figured his last move is probably like Iron Head or something, so he really has nothing for Skarmory. So I figured Skarmory might as well, so I just set up the spikes now. So he brings a Manaphy, and I was just like, oh my god, what am I going to do? As he actually goes for Surf here, which I was surprised. I don't know why I didn't go for Tailgo. Maybe he was afraid of that Galvantula, which actually makes sense, but yeah, so here's going to go for the Energy Ball, which only does like 50%, which is cool. And that's why I was talking about how good Water Absorb was in this matchup, because if I didn't have Water Absorb, I probably died an Energy Ball there. So yeah, so I'm able to paralyze it and then Volt Switch out, as he actually has a Wakan Berry. As I go into Squitter, predicting another Energy Ball. That was probably a really risky play, but I don't know, I didn't really want to. I really didn't want to risk going into like Skarmory or Mew and then it setting up Tail Glow. So I don't know, risky play, but it worked out, as he has to switch out here into Hitmontop. As Hitmontop just drops the 2 Thunders here. I'm not really sure what that play was, as I know he goes into Registeel, and then Registeel's gonna go down. I don't know. I think he probably should have switched into Roserade there, but I can see why he didn't, just because he didn't know I was scarfed at this point, so I could definitely be Specs or something. And also he gets the chance of the paralyze, and you also got the rocks and spikes and all that. So I understand why he didn't. So I'm just going to go to Mew because Mew can really take anything. As he goes for the HP Fire, because yeah, I knew Skarmory was a good switch in this thing, but I also knew that these things often are Technician HP Fire. So I didn't really predict that, but I kind of scouted for it. So that does 25% to Mew. So that tells me he's definitely Technician. As I'm just gonna be able to Soft Boiled here, I believe, or Roost. No, I have a Roost. That's right. And okay, here switch out into Skarmory. I was really afraid of this thing going for Calm Mind to set up. I know I had Roar. Wait, no, it was either like Calm Mind and then you got like Shadow Ball, or it could be like Specs or something. So it's like, yeah, let's just play it safe and go to Skarmory. As here she goes for Trick. So yeah, a good play there because Mew being Trick, that would just destroy. That would just destroy everything for me, just because of how pivotal Mew was for this team. So yeah, so Skarmory is my trick fodder there. As he's now switches out into his Manaphy. I think I go for Spikes. No, I switch out into Mittens here. I guess I guess I did predict the Manaphy there. Yeah, I was like, Iron Head's obvious. I don't have Brave Bird to do any damage to this thing, so I was like, yeah, Mew's my special defensive wall, so I'm just gonna go for the Psyshock. It doesn't take it out, however, after 2 it'll be able to easily take out this Manaphy. As he actually switches out here into his Titania, I guess that he was expecting it to be able to Hazard Stack or something, get rid of his hazards eventually with Hitmontop. However, what I fail to realize is that this Gardevoir, wait for it, this Gardevoir has Healing Wish. So that's why I switched out Manaphy. So now Manaphy goes back to full after taking before taking hazards, of course, but more importantly loses its paralyzation, which is terrible. However, he does stay in, so I can just roar him out. I figured there was really no reason not to roar because Surf does like absolutely nothing, and if he Tail Glows, well, oh well. So here he goes into Hitmontop here, so I can just easily able to take that with Psyshock. So there goes Hitmontop. Now he goes back into Manaphy. I'm not really sure why, because look, Surf does just a little more than 25%. As I roar him to Charizard, and of course, since Charizard it takes a bunch of damage from rocks, it's fine. I don't know. I think that I could have lived like a Flare Blitz or something there, but I don't know. I wanted Mew still at a high amount of HP just because Manaphy and Roserade were still big threats, so I decided just to sack Lantern here, as he just does go for the Flare Blitz. I didn't know if this thing was like Adamant or Jolly or what, so I just didn't want to risk it. So Squitter comes in here as I just want to get the Thunder Wave off. The better play was to go into Altaria. I don't know why I didn't. I guess the only concern there was Iron Tail, but I mean, I don't know why I didn't go into Altaria. I mean, Altaria would not have gotten a chance to do anything in any other situation, so that would have been the better play, but I go for the T-Wave anyway. As now I go into Altaria, as he goes for the Dragon move, so that was a weird play. I don't know why I did that, but Charizard's just going to go down. As it goes into Roserade, I have really no reason to keep Vape God, I guess, but so I go into Mew. I don't know why I did some of these plays. That was probably a dumb play too. I don't know. This was definitely a learning experience looking back on it. I should have sacked like Galvantula or something, or gone into Skarmory because I had no reason to hang on to Skarmory at all. So Mew's just gonna drop there, as Mew making stupid risky plays for no reason because, you know, what's new. So now I go into Nidoking, and I actually outspeed this thing since it's modest, apparently. I didn't know that. And now here comes Manaphy, and this is why I should have had Sucker Punch, as I was saying before, as Surf just gonna crit me here. And here, Skarmory pulls through with the Defog. Like, I definitely, like, if Skarmory got fully paired there, I definitely would have choked away the game, like, 100%. with some stupid plays there. However, Skarmory does pull through in the end, and Galvantula can just come in without dying to rocks and then just take it out with the Volt Switch. I didn't want to risk the Thunder, like the 1% chance of the Thunder miss there with like the evasion loss. So I just went for Volt Switch, and then I get the win. So yeah, my differential takes a bit of a hit, just because of those questionable plays at the end. I have a really bad habit of kind of like rushing through plays. I don't think through a lot of them often, and that cost me a lot of the times. Luckily I still able to pull through, but the team building from Rufus definitely helped a lot. Like even though Eric probably had like the best team in the GPC, or one of them, I don't know, I felt like my team definitely outmatched his, just the way it was built. So yeah, it felt a lot more, I felt like it was a lot easier to win just because my team was built properly. So I'm definitely going to take some notes from this one, take some notes from stuff I did wrong, take some notes from stuff I did right, and I really think this could be the turning point here. After dropping the first two games 0-3, it looked bad. We were -6 differential, but now we're only -4 differential, and we have a win. So only week 3, still plenty of time to make up the ground that I lost before. So I'm feeling optimistic. Hopefully this wasn't just a fluke. Eric, this is actually his last game, so he's turning his team over. So sending him off with a loss. Sorry, Eric, but yeah, I'm just happy that I was actually able to win a game that against a team and an opponent that's actually really good. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Reddithin, and maybe I'll see you before next Saturday, but probably not because I don't have time for anything. But yeah, so goodbye.